In the heart of Colombia, a city pulses with an energy that is as terrifying as it is mesmerizing. A place where the streets echo with the rhythm of survival and fear is the constant background noise. Here, a bizarre incident paints a chilling picture of the daily life. A driver wielding a cleaver in broad daylight circles a car with a menacing air. The police, the supposed guardians of order, do nothing more than cast a casual glance, a silent testament to the lawlessness that has wrapped its icy fingers around the city. What drives a man to brandish a cleaver openly on the streets? Is it desperation, bravado, or just the brutal reality of survival? The answers lie in the city's grim underbelly, where poverty gnaws at the souls and opportunities are as rare as a peaceful night's sleep. For many, the only escape from this relentless struggle is to join the ruthless game of power, where violence is the currency and fear the key to survival. The law enforcement, which should be the beacon of hope in such dire circumstances, is instead a shadowy figure tainted by corruption and fear. Their indifference to the cleaver-wielding driver is not an isolated incident, but a reflection of their unwillingness, or perhaps inability, to challenge the status quo. This apathy, coupled with the city's harsh realities, has bred an environment where the lines between right and wrong are blurred, and survival is the only moral compass. In this city, joining a gang is not an act of rebellion, but a desperate bid for survival. Children as young as 9 are initiated into this life of violence and crime, their innocence lost in the labyrinth of survival. Young girls barely in their teens are forced into a life they did not choose, their dreams crushed under the weight of circumstances. In this city, survival is a game and all the rules are off. The streets are the battlefield, the players ruthless and the prize another day of life. This is the city's grim reality, an unending dance with fear and uncertainty. In these streets, childhood is not a time of innocence but a time of initiation. Here, where the law of the jungle reigns, young boys as early as 9 are drawn into the web of gang life. It's not the allure of power or wealth that seduces them, it's the promise of survival, of belonging. The rough hands of the streets mold them, replacing their toys with guns, their games with battles. What does this initiation look like? It's a baptism by fire, a crash course in violence and ruthlessness. A few days of intensive training and they're no longer children. They're soldiers in a war they didn't start. A war that's fought not on distant battlefields but in the very streets they once played in. Their hearts, once soft and tender, harden like the concrete they stand on. Their attitudes, once full of childhood wonder, become steely and impassive. They walk with a swagger that belies their age, their eyes devoid of the sparkle that should be there. They're children in size only, their souls carry the weight of a lifetime of violence. This phenomenon doesn't just rob these boys of their childhood, it leaves a lasting imprint on society. Schools are abandoned for the allure of the streets. Families are torn apart, their fabric frayed by the relentless tug of war between hope and despair. The cycle of violence perpetuates, a vicious circle that tightens its grip with every new recruit. And yet, amidst the chaos, there's a strange order, a set of unspoken rules that governs life here. Loyalty is prized above all else. Betrayal is punished without mercy. Respect is earned through fear, not admiration. Life is cheap and death is just another part of life. For these boys, growing up fast isn't just a necessity, it's a matter of life and death. In this world, even the most sacred of all things, the innocence of a child, is a commodity to be traded. In the shadows of Colombia's bustling city streets, a grim undercurrent flows, one that carries away the innocence of its youngest citizens. It's a world where underage girls, barely in their teens, are forced into a life they never asked for, a life of prostitution. Why does this happen? It's a complex web of socioeconomic factors, but at its core, it's a tale of desperation and survival. In a society ravaged by poverty and violence, these girls often find themselves with limited options. Many come from broken homes, some are runaways, and others are simply trying to feed their families. They are lured into this life with promises of money, security, and in some cases, love. But what awaits them is a reality far removed from these promises. They are thrust into a world of exploitation and abuse, their childhood stolen from them in the blink of an eye. Every day is a struggle for survival, their self-worth eroded by the harsh realities of their circumstances. The consequences of this are far-reaching, not just for these girls, but for society at large. It perpetuates a cycle of violence and poverty, creating a generation of women who have been robbed of their education, their health, and most importantly, their childhood. Efforts to combat this issue are ongoing, but it's a complicated problem with no easy solution. Rehabilitation and reintegration programs exist, but they can only do so much. What's needed is a fundamental shift in societal attitudes, a recognition of the value and potential of these girls beyond the commodification of their bodies. It's a reality that is as heartbreaking as it is horrifying, a stain on the soul of a city. In a world where the law is just another player, the gangs rule the streets with an iron fist. The power dynamics among the gangs of Colombia are fluid, complex, and deadly. Their influence stretches far beyond the confines of the city's underbelly, seeping into the political, economic, and social fabrics of the city. They are the unseen puppeteers, pulling strings and setting the stage for a dance of chaos and violence. These gangs are not born out of a vacuum. They are the result of systemic failures, socioeconomic inequalities, and a long history of political instability. The allure of power, respect, and financial gain often proves too tempting for the marginalized youth who see these gangs as their only viable route out of poverty. The rise of these criminal syndicates can be traced back to the late 20th century when the drug trade took root in the country. With the fall of the infamous drug cartels in the 90s, the power vacuum left behind was quickly filled by these gangs who seized the opportunity to expand their operations and assert their dominance. Today, they operate with near impunity, their reach extending from the slums to the highest echelons of power. They instill fear and obedience through a potent mix of violence, intimidation, and coercion. They are not just criminals, they are kingmakers, influencers, and arbiters of life and death. They control the drug trade, the black market, and even the local economies in some areas. But what is truly terrifying is the terror they spread. The omnipresent threat of violence hangs heavy in the air, a constant reminder of their power and control. The lines between right and wrong blur, and the law becomes just another casualty in this ruthless power play. These gangs have become so deeply entrenched in the city's psyche that they are no longer seen as an anomaly but rather a grim reality of daily life. They are not just a part of the city, they are its beating heart. The city lives and breathes to the rhythm of their rule, a haunting melody of fear and defiance. These gangs aren't just a part of the city, they are its beating heart. In the darkest corners of this city there are glimmers of hope, tiny sparks that refuse to be extinguished. While the tumultuous streets of Colombia are often dominated by the tales of despair, there is a lesser-told story of resilience and redemption, a narrative woven by the brave souls who dare to stare into the face of adversity, their spirits unyielding, their determination unwavering. In the midst of all the chaos, there are individuals and organizations tirelessly working to break the cycle of violence. These are the unsung heroes who are providing a lifeline to the children caught in the crossfire, offering them a chance to escape the clutches of a life predestined by their circumstances. Consider the story of Carlos, a former gang member who turned his life around and is now helping others do the same. Through his outreach program, he provides education and job training to the youth, arming them with the tools they need to steer clear of the gangs and build a brighter future. Then there are organizations like Hope for Colombia, which has been working relentlessly to rehabilitate young girls trapped in prostitution. Their efforts have not only provided these girls with a safe haven, but also with the skills and confidence to reclaim their lives. But the road to change is steeped in challenges. Limited resources, threats from the gangs, and the deeply ingrained culture of violence are just some of the hurdles they have to overcome. Yet, they persist, driven by the belief that every child deserves a chance at a better life, a life free from fear and violence. Their determination to bring about change is inspiring. It's a stark reminder that even amidst the darkest shadows, the human spirit can ignite a flame of hope, a flame that can illuminate the path to a brighter future. In the face of despair, their resilience is a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity.